welcome to the tutorial on how to use the Honeybun Foundation Strategic Roadmap. So the strategic roadmap has a few areas to it that I'd like to describe, and then I'll describe what the functional use of it is. It has a section at the top that you note what your company's vision statement is. What is it ultimately? Competitive bakery in Jamaica. I hope your vision is bigger than this. I've spoken to a couple of you and I know that some of you have some good vision. So some of you may want to achieve something global. Please don't be afraid to put something huge. You don't have to achieve it. It just has to be a part of your vision. And it doesn't mean it's not achievable. The next thing is to look at these next 12 months for 2023 and to determine which part of this vision you want to achieve. So I could perhaps put something like develop new products, competitive new products. Okay, it's always nice if your objective is something that is measurable. So I'm going to put here to develop 6 new products. It's always good to have something measurable, especially for your 12-month objective. Some people may put, as I have seen before, they want to make a profit this year. Some people may say that they want to increase their sales by 50%, or they want to become food safety certified. So all of these things would be towards accomplishing your bigger vision. So that's this section up here where you put in your vision, your goals. The next section of this is a calendar. And as you can see, I have a 12-month calendar from January to December here across the top. My company name is Nuka Bakery. So in the calendar, we have 12 months. And at the left side, I'm going to call these tasks that you need to do in order to achieve your 12-month objectives. These are the things you need to do. And we have some columns here that identifies the resource, and by resource I mean who is going to do this particular task. These are headings. At the point they're headings, so don't consider them tasks. They're tasks, but they're under specific headings. So you may say that your FC is your marketing Mary is gonna do this, and you might say that Tony is gonna do that. So you're identifying who is going to be responsible. I so discourage you from putting your name for everything. That makes it very difficult. You can also say you're gonna outsource it, or you may say somebody on your committee might take on another task. I discourage you again from using your advisory committee because your advisors are not operational. They guide you in your general business practice and direction. They're not operational, so I would discourage you from doing this. So this column is a sum column. It's a total, and I'll explain that in a while. And this column is where you're going to do some estimated costs. Now, I like to put $1 for, say, 50,000. You can use your own key. You can say $1 is going to be 100,000. If it's a small plan, you may put $1 is 10,000. Whatever it is, it's an estimate. People don't like to do estimates. They like to say, well, I haven't found out what it's going to cost us yet. Don't let that stop you. put something there, and we'll go back to that in a second. So whenever you have identified an activity, for example, you want to do training in customer service, you're going to want to put down the months that you're going to do that. So you may decide that I'm going to do this over a 2-month period, and it might cost you 50,000 for the two of them. So I'm going to put one, or it might cost you 100,000. So you can just estimate costs here based on 50,000 units. Now what you will see is that when I put a 1 here, it adds up the frequency of the task. Some people will put something over the full year, but that is not ideal, because if you're going to do something over the full year, then I would call it something that is operational again. And it's like saying you're going to do your bank recon 12 times for the year. No, that's not an event that we want to know. Those are something that you do every month anyway. So avoid those kind of tasks to jot down. Now, the reason that we have these headings is because they are prompts for you that you can use them to identify certain tasks. For example, if I am going to do corporate governance, I may not want to do them in a way where I have to, or in order to achieve my objective, because this is what we're focusing on. So I may forget about governance, but governance is critical. It's one of the most critical areas in any plan. So governance might have something like you're gonna have set up your advisory committee meetings. We're now in February, so let us say that you're gonna do that. So you're gonna need to call a meeting in February to decide, okay, these are my advisors, learn about their strengths, introduce them to your company, and set up your calendar of meetings. So you may decide we're going to meet every month, or we're going to meet every 2 weeks. I don't advise you go more than a month, but some companies did it every other month. So although you're going to set up your committee meetings, this is an important item. If you're going to meet every month, I would not suggest that you do this, because it makes it an operational thing. The initial meeting to set up the structure, let me put the word structure here, is what is critical. So you're going to set up the structure, and then after that, once you set it up that it's every other month, you can go to your Outlook calendar and set up a recurring meeting. So these are headings that would help you to guide you through the type of things that need to be done. Another very important one is market research. Many people start their company and they don't know anything about market research. So research competitors, product range. So you may not be able to do this, but this might be something you can outsource. So, marketing can cost a bit. So I'm going to put 100,000 there. And you want to do that very early in the year. So because you're doing 6 competitive products, you don't want to go back to your room and pick 6 out of your best choice. You may want to set up a survey monkey to ask people what products they want, what they like, what is not in the market that they would like. So there I said something. You want to get survey monkey as a research tool. So you need to do that in February as well. Okay. Now what is happening on this spreadsheet is that at the bottom of the spreadsheet, there should be a tallying going on, so that you know that, Okay, for February we have 3 major activities, and for these months you have 1 or 2. So if you had put in a lot of activities for February, then you'd be able to see that you're top loaded in February because you have 8 tasks, whereas the other months you have 3 and 2. So you can balance it out. You can say, I'm not going to do this one now because I have too many. I'm going to put it off till April. So you can look at it. You can also look at what your plans are looking like. Okay, so this is the general view of the strategic roadmap. I'm just gonna make this smaller so you can see the spreadsheet, the bigger view of the spreadsheet. So here you have your objective, your bigger goal, and your activities in order to achieve this. Another column that can be put in is your KPI. So you might decide that for your market research, you want to identify your 6 companies. So you look at your 6 biggest competitors and you can determine what is measurable. Training and in customer service, what might be measurable is 23 staff. So you may want training for your 23 staff for your 6 companies here. So here you're setting up yourself to, so you don't just research one company and say, done it. No. So I just want to explain to you, if this is your strategic roadmap, it serves a couple of purposes. The first thing it's doing is it's setting up your 12-month work plan. So if it sets up your 12-month work plan, you know what you need to do in February, you know what you need to do in March, April, May, June, July, etc. So it's a work plan. So if you should become ill, somebody can pick up this plan and see that we're heading for February. So these were the things you plan to do. The other thing it does is it provides for and can be used as a business plan. So if this is your objective for 2023, you can also use it as a business plan, because you can also put in 2024, you can put in 2025, and you can kind of just make notes as to what your plans are for those years. So you may want to develop 6 new products this year, and next year you might want to focus on a new facility, a bigger facility, and you can make your notes in the description column, and you can put a 1 in the year that you plan to do it. So you could say here, this wouldn't be there, that would be under business, no heading for business. Okay, so let's put something in there for business, and you may decide that you're going to do that in 2024, and by 2025 you may want to, and I'm just going to be elaborate, you may want to insert new store outlet in Montego Bay. Okay, so this is how it could be used as a business plan. And we can talk about that again, or you can have that discussion. But what it does certainly is it plants seeds for you to understand some of the things you may need to be doing even in this current year. So it's a work plan. It can be a business plan. But most of all, what it is that it is a strategic plan. So you have what you want to achieve, and you have to go into your war room and develop your strategic plan. So instead of just putting ordinary things here, what are some of the really strategic things you want to do to meet this? And this is where we encourage your creativity. Don't make this dull and boring. You may want to, under technology, you may under technology, you may want to put something like identify automation for manufacturing. You may do that near to the end of August, just for argument's sake, so that you're developing your strategy for meeting your objective, which is linked back to your company vision. So that's just describing for you the layout of the land in this strategic roadmap. So I'm going to pause and allow you to open up your blank template and start to fill in some of these headings so you can start to practice what I just went through. They don't have to be right, just start to use it so you can get a better idea and so that you can have better questions. Thank you all. That's part 1.